So the biggest like misconception that I've seen or heard in business is if you build it, they will come. Not true, because you could build it, but I might not need it. I might not want it. I might not ever need that thing or want that thing or even know that that thing exists to ever come looking for it. Welcome to my channel where we talk about boutiques, e-commerce, business, and all things making money online. Hey guys, it's Jan Shartay and I'm back again with another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about something that confuses a lot of business owners online, and that is the difference between the buyer's journey and a sales funnel. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So during the last 4 years of being an online business owner, I've heard so many different words get thrown around: marketing, advertising, funnels, buyer's journey, target audience, target market, buyer's persona, so on and so forth. And all of those words get confused. They think that this one thing is the same thing as this other thing, and this thing is the same thing as the other thing. And a sales funnel and the buyer's journey are two of those words or phrases or parts of business that people often confuse. And they confuse them because technically speaking, they coincide with one another, but really they are two areas of business that have to be seen from two different points of view. So the buyer's journey is exactly what it sounds like. It is the buyer's journey. It is controlled by the buyer. They decide what they're going to interact with. They, internally decide whether or not they need or desire something or want something. And that has little to do with us as we may think. However, that's where your sales funnel comes into play. So although the buyer is going to decide what they will and will not interact with, you as a brand get to create content and marketing and advertising and things like that that can meet them where they are and help to guide them along the path of potentially making a purchase. So before we go too deeply into today's video, I do want to, as always, give you the formal definition of both the buyer's journey and sales funnels, and then we'll go into my thought process about both concepts. Okay, so there were way too many definitions of these two forms of business or parts of business on the internet. So I found an article that I feel like really sums up the difference of the two. And then, like I said, we'll go into like my understanding of it and how I've applied it in my business. So it says the sales funnel is a company-centric approach that focuses on company goals. On the other hand, the buyer's journey funnel is a consumer-centric perspective that focuses on the buyer's distinct needs. The former aims to convert visitors into leads and then into customers, and the latter represents the path a prospect takes from interest to purchase. So basically what this is saying is that a sales funnel is centered around the business. It is centered around how the business desires for buyers to go through the process of becoming aware of their business and ultimately becoming an email subscriber and then ultimately becoming a purchaser. So the business controls all aspects of what a potential customer is going to see, and they control it by building out a sales funnel. Whereas this paragraph is saying the buyer's journey is customer centric, which means that the customer controls it. It means that the customer is, like we said, they choose what they're going to interact with. You may have had a hand in them becoming aware by way of you posting content or running ads and things of that nature, but ultimately they decided whether or not they wanted to interact with it, whether or not they needed it, whether or not they were going to click on it, so on and so forth. So on the back end, as a business, you kind of have to think through all of the potential possibilities of what could occur in the buyer's journey. And so in order to do that, you have to first understand the different stages of the buyer's journey. So again, just like I said earlier, the internet has so many different descriptions of sales funnels and the buyer's journey. Some of them list like 7 stages that they believe buyers go through. Some of them list 3. There's so many different options to like take into consideration, and I'm not going to say that either of them is right or wrong. However, I'm going to tell you the one that I work within, and then again we'll talk about how I apply it and how it works for me in driving sales consistently. Let's talk about the buyer's journey first, and I'm going to give you the more like long or complex description of what a buyer's journey may look like, and then we'll talk about the sales funnel. So when speaking about the buyer's journey, basically there is a clear starting point and there's a clear ideal ending point, but there's also points within the buyer's journey where they may decide they don't need anymore, decide that they're going to go buy it somewhere else, decide that they don't have the money for it, so on and so forth. So the buyer's journey starts with awareness. It typically goes into what is known as the interest stage, then the consideration stage, then the decision stage, then the retention stage, and then the advocacy or loyalty phase. So in the awareness stage, this is where they are becoming or have become aware of their need or desire or want for something. It could be that, you know, they just need a new outfit for the weekend, they need an outfit for a party, they need an outfit for a concert, a date, so on and so forth. It could be because they lost a ton of weight and they need a new wardrobe. It could be because, like, if we think about like appliances and things like that in our house, maybe they just moved and they have to buy the appliances, or maybe their house was flooded or something and they need to replace something. There's all these different instances that may impact someone needing the products that you sell. And as you can see, we have nothing to do with that. We don't impact whether or not someone needs our products. So the biggest like misconception that I've seen or heard in business is if you build it, they will come. Not true, because you could build it, but I might not need it. I might not want it. I might not ever need that thing or want that thing or even know that that thing exists to ever come looking for it. So the first part of business is not building it and thinking that they will come, but more so understanding who you're targeting in the first place and thinking through all of the potential reasons why they may need or desire whatever it is that you sell. So once they become aware of their own needs, desires, wants, and things of that nature, then they typically go seeking. Now, one thing that I think we neglect to realize is like there is the possibility that someone just randomly sees your products or, you know, sees your content on their feed and they may not have needed or desired what you had to offer, but they saw it and they gained interest. So that's the next stage of the buyer's journey. And in order for people to form interest in something that they may not have had a need or desire for in the first place, it gotta look a certain way, it needs to sound a certain way, it needs to be presented to them in a way that makes them literally stop in their tracks to start considering whether or not they need or desire, or like thinking of an instance where that product might fit into their life. So as we stated, they go from awareness to interest to consideration. So I could be interested in what's in front of me. I can see it and be like, oh, this is so pretty. I wonder how they did that, or I wonder how much this costs, so on and so forth. I'm interested, but I don't start considering it until I start looking for more information about that thing. So this might be them clicking the link in your bio or clicking the link under your ads, so on and so forth. And that's an indication that they have seen something that interests them, and now they're going to go elsewhere to consider whether or not it's worthy of giving their money to. So once they have gotten to the consideration stage, then hopefully they make it to the decision stage. They weigh their options. This is where things can get a little muddy because, for example, I think about Amazon all the time when I think about the middle of the buyer's journey. Amazon sells everything, and I don't know about y'all, but like there have been plenty of times where I saw something online that I really liked, and my first thought was, let me go to Amazon and see if they have it. And there has also been a ton of times where I went to Amazon and bought it there instead because it was cheaper, or because I could get it by tomorrow, or I could get it the same day, so on and so forth. So not to say that your brand or the brand that I saw, the product that I saw, was not worthy, but more so to say that the thing that encouraged me making a decision was how quickly it could get to me, the price, the description, so on and so forth. So the things that impact awareness are totally different than the things that impact interest, and then totally different from the things that impact consideration, and then ultimately different from the things that impact decision. So let's say in a happy world, I decide to go ahead and buy the product as the buyer, and let's even leave Amazon in there. And this is going to kind of lead into the sales funnel. So let's say that I go to Amazon, I leave that product behind because they don't have the color that I want. So I forgot your business's name. Let's say that I forgot. I can't remember your website address. I didn't like the post. I didn't follow your page. So I really want that thing, but there's really no way of me getting it at this point other than me going back to Amazon. But as a business owner, we can impact the buyer's journey. And that's where your sales funnel comes into play. And I don't want to jump too far ahead. So I'm going to finish the buyer's journey and then we'll hop into sales funnel. So let's say that, in a perfect world, I go ahead and buy that product. I've made a decision. I'm getting it. Let's say I get it. The next stage of the buyer's journey is retention. So now that you've gotten me as a customer, how do you keep me as a customer? So that might look like having a rewards program, a loyalty program. It could even be as simple as you following up and saying, thank you so much for your purchase. We would love to offer you 15% off of your next one. So something that retains me as a customer versus, this being a one-time situation. And not to hop too deeply into like inventory and things of that nature, but a lot of boutique owners impact their ability to create customer retention because what they sell is so random. You were selling club dresses in April, but then in June you were selling swimsuits, and then in the fall you're selling office wear. Like, I don't know. I'm lost. So when you create consistency in your brand, it makes it that much easier for you to retain customers. So after that, the last stage of the buyer's journey is loyalty or advocacy. And at this point, you are wanting people to advocate for your brand on your brand's behalf or on your behalf. So this might look like having like a referral program. If you refer someone to our brand, then we are going to give you a $5 reward for every purchase that they make. Or it could be allowing them to create user-generated content, or maybe having a brand ambassador program, some affiliate marketing. Anything along those lines could potentially impact that advocacy or loyalty. So hopefully that helps you to understand the buyer's journey. And now we have to talk about sales funnels, which is one of my absolute favorite topics of business. As we stated earlier in the video, the sales funnel is company centric, and it takes into consideration the company's goals. Now, obviously you may be thinking, well, our goal is sales. We want to make money. However, there are other things that we should have goals around to help us or impact our ability to make the sales that we want. So the sales funnel is centered around the buyer's journey. And I like to think about sales funnels as taking into consideration all of the what ifs. So when I speak of what ifs, I mean, what if they see my content but they don't follow me? What if they go to my website but they don't add anything to cart? What if they add something to the cart but they don't purchase? What if they initiate checkout but they don't finish the purchase? What if they sign up for my email list but they don't use that initial coupon code that we offered them? When you are building a very intentional sales funnel, and more specifically an effective one, you want to be considering all of the what ifs. So I find in business, we only think about like the best option, the best outcome, what we want to occur. But in all actuality, as we mentioned, we don't control the buyer's journey. We control the funnel that we build around it. And in order for us to make sure that we are meeting customers or potential customers where they are and potentially impacting their purchasing decisions, is to build around what could or what if they do or do not do a thing. So if we go back to the previous example, I talked about me as a consumer. If I go to Amazon and I decide I don't want to buy from Amazon, but lo and behold, I didn't like your post, I didn't comment, I didn't follow, all I did was click the link in your bio and I went to your website, but I don't remember it. I don't still have it up. I closed it, so on and so forth. This is where things like retargeting ads, this is where things like prioritizing lead generation, this is where your email marketing efforts, your SMS marketing efforts, this is where those types of things come into play. So when you're building a sales funnel, essentially you're building it kind of in the same realm of the stages of the buyer's journey, but only this time it's you, what you're doing in conjunction with what they're doing or what you think that they're doing. So let's start back at the beginning, awareness. So someone becomes aware. You have to think about all of the places where someone could potentially become aware of your brand. So for me, that might be Instagram, that might be Facebook, that might be TikTok, that might be YouTube, but that could also be through word of mouth. If you participate in pop-up shops, it could be a pop-up shop. I know bigger brands, they do billboards, they have commercials. It could be an influencer if you work with influencers, so on and so forth. First things first, you have to take into consideration all of the places where someone could become aware of your business. From there, you have to say, well, what would make someone interested in my business? Now, our job isn't to make everybody interested. Our job is to make our ideal customer interested. And in order to do that, we have to know in detail who our ideal customer is. We have to know enough about them to be able to create something, create content, shall I say, that looks and sounds and feels the way that it needs to feel to attract them, to make them want to stop in their tracks and interact with that content. And so a lot of business owners miss the mark in this area because one, they don't understand their target audience, and two, they neglect the importance of quality content. They think that it is enough to just showcase the products without showcasing the product in a setting and in a way that the ideal customer would want to see it. Period. So from there, we get to say, okay, if this is where they become aware, what do I create to potentially make them interested? Now, another element of interest could be it being a sale or a giveaway. I love giveaways. Giveaways are one of my favorite things to do to generate interest in my brand. However, giveaways, I'm just going to use that as an example. A giveaway is a great lead generation opportunity. So like I said earlier, you want to think about not just them going to make a purchase, but what if they do not? How can I make sure that I'm able to continue to market to them if they didn't save my brand's name or save my website address or follow me or like this content? If it's going to be nearly impossible for me to get back in front of them because of the algorithm, what can I do to impact the potential likelihood that they make it back here? So when you prioritize lead generation early in the buyer's journey versus at the end, I think about people that are like, well, I'll get their email address when they purchase, or I'll get their email address when they see the pop-up on my website, so on and so forth. Like, yes, absolutely, but also you could try to get it way before that. And I'm the type of person that will try to get an email address way before they ever even make it to my website. So I like to do giveaways as a point of lead generation, but let's just say not a giveaway. They've become aware, and now I've created some piece of content that just makes them interested. I love to do reels of me just like walking through my house doing random at-home things because my brand serves women that are like homebodies and things of that nature. So I want to make sure that what I create is something that they could envision themselves doing. So let's say that they become interested so much so that they, let's say on one hand, they follow my business page, and on the other hand, they go to my website. So those are two what ifs. Two what ifs that could potentially have two separate funnels attached to them, or they could have one funnel that kind of like is built the same way based off of the two what ifs. So we're going to start with what if on this side. So what if they follow my brand but they don't do anything else? Guess what? I can run ads to you, or I can continue to execute my organic efforts in hoping that you interact with further content and start to click links, the links in my bio or the links in my stories, so on and so forth. I personally prioritize my stories a lot because my audience is not huge, but it's pretty big by like a beginner's standards, and I want to prioritize the people that are already interested in my brand because they're like in the funnel already. They're already in the buyer's journey, but they haven't purchased anything. So I use my stories a lot to just like educate them about the products, tell them what's going on. I use that link sticker to send people to a landing page to sign up for my emails and my texts and to download my app versus sending people to my website with the expectation or hope that they'll sign up for my email list. And ultimately that just makes so much more sense. Even if you don't buy anything, I have your email address, and now I can continue to send you emails. So what ifs? They went to my Instagram, they followed, but they did not go anywhere beyond that. I can run an ad to you, or I can continue to organically market to you as a follower. On the other end, they didn't follow me, but they went to my website. I don't know what they did on my website. Like, I can't spy on every single person individually. Actually, I can. There's apps that you can use to do that, but that's neither here nor there. But I know that these are all the possibilities. You can go to my homepage, you could go to a collection page, you could go to the product page, you could add something to your cart, you could initiate the checkout, and you could purchase. But you could also abandon your cart. You could also not add anything to your cart. You could also look at a collection page but never make it to a product page. So I am considering all of the what ifs, and then from there I get to build something that impacts my ability to get back in front of them. Ads can play a huge role in the sales funnel because they allow you to get back in front of people based off of the things that they have and have not done. So for example, I can say, I want to retarget or put my business, shall I say, back in front of every person who added something to their cart in the last 30 days but did not purchase something. Or I can say, I want to put my business back in front of every single person that looked at my homepage. Or I could even retarget my email list. I love ads. Another topic for another day. However, so now that I know, like, okay, these are all the possibilities, I get to build around that. And again, it's either I got your email address and now I'm going to continue to send you emails. That might be an abandoned cart email. That might be a browse abandonment email. Sidebar, quick commercial break. I have an email marketing class. I'll link it in the description below if you need help with email marketing. More specifically, if you use Klaviyo for email marketing. If you don't use Klaviyo for email marketing, and more specifically, if you have a Shopify store, you need Klaviyo and you need my course. Okay, back to the video. So yeah, it might be an email, it might be an abandoned cart, it might be a browse abandonment. There's so many different things. But imagine if you don't have an email pop-up, or let's say you're not sending people to a landing page, or you're just generally speaking not prioritizing lead generation. The chances of getting back in front of this person are slim to none. So I prioritize lead generation over everything else so that I can allow my email marketing and SMS marketing to work on my business's behalf versus banking on them just going and buying and loving everything about my brand. So they're aware, they're interested, they're considering, they're at the point of needing to make a decision, and they may not make a decision. At every single stage, I have to say, what if they do not? What do I build around that? So now I want to talk about what a very simple sales funnel could look like. So stick around and let's do it. Okay, so at this point, I honestly want to replace the word sales with marketing, because funnels can be built for a multitude of purposes, not just sales. So I actually tend to use more funnels for like marketing purposes and lead generation purposes versus sales. Once I get to the point of like building a sales funnel, it's going to very heavily be built around email marketing and paid advertising. So I'm just going to give you guys an example of a simple marketing funnel, or a funnel for lead generation, and then I will give you one with sales as the objective. So building a sales funnel or marketing funnel first and foremost requires you to be clear about what goal or objective you're trying to meet at the end of it. So let's say that my objective or goal is lead generation. I am trying to get email subscribers. So I think about all of the different ways or methods that I can use to acquire leads. I already mentioned that I do giveaways, but sometimes it's just as simple as making an announcement. So for example, in like 3 or 4 days, I'm going to be running a really big sale. Actually, it's 7 days, but I'm going to announce it in about 3 or 4 days. So I'm running a big sale at the end of the month. It's going to be an end of season sale. And my call to action for all of the content that I'm going to be creating leading up to that sale is sign up for our email list. From there, I get to tell them where to sign up for my email list, and that's where thinking about all the ways you could get a lead comes into play. So I know that I could send them to my website, but I'm not going to do that. Why am I not going to do that? Because one, I'm telling you that we're going to have a big sale. They're not going to go to my website and buy something today. And I also don't want them to have to wait for a pop-up to show. So I'm going to replace the link in my bio with a landing page, the URL to a landing page. If you use a email marketing platform that allows you to build landing pages and things like that, this is where that's going to come into play. If you use Klaviyo, you can build what's called an embedded form, and it kind of works the same way. So let's start from point number 1. So I'm going to create a reel, and that reel is going to be me standing in my warehouse, and I'm going to make the announcement that we are starting a huge end of season sale on whatever date that it's going to occur. And I'm going to say that my app subscribers are going to get first dibs, and our email subscribers are going to be the first to get notified when the sale starts. And if you don't want to miss out on that, Oh my gosh, I just sneezed. So I'm gonna say, if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you sign up for our email list, and here's the way to do that. Or make sure you sign up for our text list, or make sure you download our app. Whatever your call to action is gonna be, that's what you're gonna say. The key is that you want to tell them how to easily do that. And there's a multitude of ways you can do that. So I have more recently been using a automation service called ManyChat. And basically you can set up like funnels, and you can say, sign up for, or comment this word below and we'll send you the details. So I might say, comment the word sale in the comments and we'll send you the link to sign up for our email list. So instead of me saying, click the link in my bio, wait for the pop-up to show up, so on and so forth, like, no. You just comment this word and we're going to send the details to you. And then in the DMs, they can send their email address, and you can, on the back end in ManyChat, you can integrate your email marketing software, and boom, you got a new email subscriber. So I've been using that method a lot lately, and I actually really love it. So that's one way I could go about it. Again, I could send them to the link in my bio, and that could be a landing page. If we're talking about in my stories, then I can, use the link to a landing page. Key point being here, I'm not going to send people to my website to wait for a pop-up to show. I'm going to make sure that it's very simple for them to get on the list. From there, I need to have email automation set up. So whether that be my everyday welcome series, or whether that be a welcome series built specifically around the sale, totally up to you. So I am going to build a welcome series specifically around the sale, and it's going to basically give them like instructions for how to prepare for the sale. So here's all the details you need. Sale's going to start on this day at this time. These are all the things that are included. This is what the sale is going to be. Go ahead and fill your cart right now, or create an account on our website and add everything to your wish list, so that when the sale starts, you're able to get whatever you want really quickly. So I'm like setting the stage for someone to potentially, they've already shown interest, they've already kind of they're already considering purchasing, and I'm setting them up to make a decision when the time and date comes. So I'm telling them exactly what they need to do to make sure that they are able to make a purchase when that day occurs, versus me saying the sale is here on the day that the sale is here and expecting people to just go from awareness to interest to consideration to decision. No, don't do that. And yes, it is possible for people to do it in, one sitting or in one day. But it's so much more effective if you take the time to actually map it out. And you honestly get way more by way of like people or subscribers than you would waiting until the day of the situation. And this goes for like launching too. You're gonna get so much more from preparing and planning and preparing them for it than you are from just announcing it and expecting people to come. Remember, you don't build it and they come. That's just not, it's not how we do it. From there, I can send ads to every single person that interacts with that content as a reminder that that sale is occurring. And yeah, then when the sale happens, I wait for the sales to come in. So that one's pretty simple. But then when we get to the point of wanting to add email marketing and advertising, essentially at almost every single point of the buyer's journey, there's going to be an email as well as an ad. So at the point of awareness, you're aware, you interact with my content, even if you just liked it, ad. You're going to get retargeted, and we're going to tell you something about our brand that hopefully leads you back to either my Instagram or my Facebook or my website. And let's say they go to the website, they start browsing a collection. Let's say they look at a collection, nothing else. They don't even look at a product, they don't add to cart, they don't purchase. Ad. We're going to retarget you with an ad that tells you a little bit more about the business, a little bit more about the products, the sale that's happening. We might offer you a coupon code in that ad. Long story short, we're saying that one visit for me, ow, I just scratched my neck, my chin. That one visit, you not buying anything when you weren't there is not an indication that you don't want to buy anything. I think about the fact that I don't always have money in my pocket. I can't just splurge whenever I want. I got bills to pay. That doesn't mean I don't want it. It might mean that I can't get it today. And I want it, but make it easy for me to come back. So but then also emails get to come into play. So let's say that the first interaction that they have with my brand is me getting their email, and they don't even go to my website to my website that day. They're going to go through a welcome series. They're going to get a coupon code to use in their first purchase. That welcome series is going to have 5 emails in it. Every single product and every single link and every single button in that welcome series is going to be intentionally decided or intentionally chosen, because I want to impact every single thing that you do and every single thing that you see along your journey. So if I can catch them early in their journey, I have a little bit more control over how that journey goes. Versus if I catch them late in the game, I'm messing up. So long story short, so they collection, they product. So if they're on my email list, let's say that they're now on my email list and they just look at a product on my website. Guess what they get? A browse abandonment email. If you don't know what a browse abandonment email is, again, grab the email marketing course in the description, period. Browse abandonment emails are my favorite. It's just like, hey, we saw you looking at this. Don't leave it behind. Come back. Then we have an abandoned cart series. So let's say that they add all the stuff to their cart and they leave it behind. Abandoned cart emails, abandoned cart ads. We are going to remind you that this is still here. It's waiting for you. My abandoned cart email sequence is my favorite email sequence because it is so well thought out and like so extensive. Honestly, truly, I make up so many potential lost sales through my abandoned cart sequence. Period. I say period a lot. Oh my God. Anyway, so even after they make a decision, they become a customer. Remember, we still have two different stages of the buyer's journey, which is, what are the stages, child? Lord Jesus. Retention and advocacy. So I want to retain you. So by the time you make that purchase, you're getting a thank you email that says, thank you so much for this purchase. My name's Jans. I'm the owner of Brazen Boutique. I just want to thank you so much for supporting my business. As a special thank you, I want to offer you this discount code at your next purchase. Do y'all know how many people come right back and buy something else? Because 9 times out of 10, they took something out of their cart because they were like, my total too high. They come right back. It's the coolest thing. They come right back and they buy it because I gave them a coupon code. When we send them the request for a review, coupon code. And I didn't always offer coupon code for that one, but coupon code. And then advocacy. I have a rewards program. Sign up for this. Here's a referral link. Send it to your friend. Like, it's so mapped out. Now, this video has become way too long, but the biggest thing that I want you guys to take from this video is that I don't care that you classify yourself as a small business. My business is still considered a small business by way of like how much revenue it brings in. However, in mentality and in action and in strategy, I think like a big business all day, every day. Anything, if I go to a big brand's website and they send me an email, an ad, they got an app, whatever, I always tell myself, you can do that. Like anything a big brand can do, I can do. Anything that they can get their hands on, I can get my hands on. It might not be right now today, but it's a possibility because all of them started somewhere. All of them had a day one. All of them had a first day of sales. I can get there as well. So online business, e-commerce more specifically, is not about building it and letting people come. It is about you understanding consumers and how they navigate the internet and the buyer's journey, and then you building a sales funnel that addresses all of the what ifs in their buyer's journey, making sure that you understand that you don't control what they buy, but you can have some control in what they see and how they get to the point of buying. So I hope this video was helpful. It's kind of long, I know, but it's very important. I want to let you guys know that I have a program called E-Commerce Elementary. You can learn more by clicking the description or the link in the description. It is a 11 module course. It has, I don't know, like 60 lessons inside of it that take you from point A to point Z of e-commerce, understanding things like the buyer's journey and sales funnels, understanding what marketing is and what it means to build a marketing campaign, clarifying who your target audience is, how to build a good website, how to set up your email marketing. If you get the E-Commerce Elementary, you don't even need the email marketing class. Everything that you need to know about building a successful and more specifically a profitable e-commerce business. So if you guys have any questions at all, comment below, let me know. Have any questions about the courses? Comment below, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.